Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny beta video. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the best ways to farm Glimmer. Now, Glimmer is the currency system in Destiny, and is what you're going to use to buy all those good weapons and armor and all that good stuff. So you want to make sure you have lots of it, because nobody wants to be broke. Now, some people have said that a good way to earn money is in the Crucible, and yes, if you're good, that can be a very lucrative way, because typically matches are about, 5 to 10 minutes, and they can reward, a couple of hundred Glimmer at the end, so it's not too bad. However, the reason I don't like doing that is because I don't think it's that sustainable, because if you're not that great in the Crucible, and I'll be honest, I have mixed games. I love the Crucible, but sometimes I do really well, sometimes I do really badly. So if you don't do great, then obviously you're not going to get as much Glimmer, and therefore I don't think it's the most reliable way to earn money. The way I do it, on the other hand, is to combine an item called Ether Seeds with a strike mission on hard. Now, Ether Seeds are an item that you consume, and they last for 10 minutes, and all while they are active, you gain more Glimmer from killing fallen enemies. Only fallen, so it doesn't apply to the Hive, but all while it's active, you are gaining more Glimmer. Now, in order to get an Ether Seed, the easiest way to do it is if you go and select the very first mission, that's Restoration, and set it on easy. Do not do it on hard, because the final boss, the Archon, does not always drop Ether Seeds on hard. He typically drops House Banners instead. So do it on easy, and you'll run through this mission in about 5 minutes or less. It is super easy to kill, especially if you're level 8. So as you can see here, he dropped out the tunnel. I shot him in the head, threw a knife at him, all that good stuff, and then he was dead in a matter of seconds. And there you have it, he drops Ether Seeds. So this is an extremely quick way to get them, and if you're going to go on a big quest, I'd recommend doing this mission back to back, say 4 or 5 times, just to get enough Ether Seeds so you've got them banked. It's not going to take you that long, set aside 15-20 minutes to go and farm Ether Seeds, and then you're ready to go. So, once you have your Ether Seeds, what you then want to do is go to the strike mission and set it on hard. The reason I say hard is because obviously the harder the enemies, the more stuff they drop, and the more money they're going to drop. And obviously then if you've got a multiplier on that through Ether Seeds, you're then going to get more money again. So, once you're on the strike mission, what you want to do is do not use your Ether Seeds right at the start, because primarily you are fighting Hive, and the Ether Seeds do not give you more money for killing Hive, only for Fallen. So run through the first bit of the mission and get to the point where you then get into this room and there's a crossfire. The point where you have to fight waves of enemies. At that point, go into your inventory and use the first one of your Ether Seeds. Now, as I said, they last for 10 minutes, so you want to try and be as efficient as possible, which is the main reason that I didn't apply them at the start of the mission. Now, for the purposes of this video, you can see that now, as I'm about to apply my Ether Seeds, I have 1,921 Glimmer. So what you're then going to do is run through this room. This room typically takes about 5 minutes. There's 3 waves of enemies, most of which are fallen, which is why this is so lucrative. But by the time you finish it, you want to be quick, because you've still got time left on your Ether Seeds. You then want to run to the next area, and unfortunately the next area is where you find the Walker or the Spider Tank. But the important thing to note is there are still fallen there. So what I do is for the first 5 minutes, I ignore the boss. Yes, I know that might sound annoying, but to be honest, you're still helping your team. I pick off all the mobs, and the reason you want to do that is because they are still fallen, and you'll kill them quickly, and you're still earning money. And you're still helping your team, because the fallen aren't then bothering your teammates, while they can still focus on the tank. So, go and kill as many of them as you can, and then once your Ether Seeds run out, you can then look at how much Glimmer you've made. So if I skip forward a little bit to the point where I've just run out of time on my Ether Seeds, you will see that I now have 2,425 Glimmer. Now, if I do some fancy maths, you will see that that is a gain of 504 Glimmer. Now that is 504 Glimmer in 10 minutes. That's pretty good when you think about it. It's not that long, and what you could do, I do not recommend this because I don't recommend abandoning your team. It's not cool. But what you could do is, if you really just are out to farm Glimmer, then you could at this point leave this fire team and then research for another strike mission and do the whole thing over again and just do the first sort of waves. Or, to be honest, the easy way to do it so you don't abandon the team is if you form a fire team with your friends and your sole purpose is to farm Glimmer, then yeah, just get up to this point, and then as soon as you run out of time on your Ether Seeds, quit the mission, go back and do it again, and then in 20 minutes you're going to have 1,000 Glimmer, 40 minutes, 2,000 Glimmer, so you can see it's a pretty good way to earn money. The other thing you're going to want to bear in mind is the reason I mentioned 2,000 Glimmer is because if you're playing the Iron Banner this weekend, 2,000 Glimmer is how much the Iron Banner cape costs. So, if you're like me, then the last time the Iron Banner dropped for the very first time on PlayStation, I was running around like a crazy man trying to make money, and I was like, no, I can't afford it. Well, now you can. This will take you less than an hour to make the money you need, and then obviously you can invest the rest of the time in the Iron Banner to make sure you rank up. Next, the other thing you can do is go back to the town, and don't forget that when you are not using your weapons, or if you've got weapons that you're carrying that you do not want, don't just hang on to them, dismantle them. If you dismantle them, you get Glimmer, and you also get parts, which you will later need to upgrade your weapons anyway, so there's no point hanging on to a weapon you're not going to use, and similarly, if you dismantle green weapons, you get better stuff as well. So anything you don't want, or you don't plan on passing on to other characters, then dismantle it. And the last way I would recommend making money is bounties. Now I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, wait, what? You don't get money from bounties. That's correct. You don't. You get Vanguard points, Crucible points, or experience. But you get money by proxy. Now what I mean by that is, look at the bounties I'm about to pick up. The first one requires I kill 100 enemies with precision damage. The second one requires me to kill 30 enemies without dying. Now, when you're farming XP, you will obviously pick up bounties, and then you will go after those bounties so that you can complete them. In turn, by going after those bounties, you're killing lots of enemies. The combination of those two bounties together means I will have 130 enemies to kill. If I go only after Fallen and I have Ether Seeds applied, 130 enemies killed with an Ether Seed multiplier will give me lots of money. So, you see what I mean? By going after bounties, then that is another source of motivation to get you money. So, it's one of those things you should think about. Always have bounties on you, always have Ether Seeds on you, and always go after the Fallen. So, there you have it. They are my top tips for earning money. Hopefully you found it helpful, and obviously if you're playing this weekend and you're trying to save up for that Iron Banner cape, or the ship, or the next Sparrow, or some emblems, then now you can. It's not going to take you that long. So if you did find this helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit the like button, show your support, and obviously don't forget to subscribe for daily gaming videos. That's it. Thanks for watching. Peace out.